Welcome to the Love Rekindled show, where real stories, heartfelt advice, and expert guidance come together to help you create richer, more meaningful relationships. Meet your certified relationship coaches, Margot and Antonio Taylor. Through transformative coaching, informative workshops, and special events, the Love Rekindled community empowers families and couples to grow closer, communicate openly, and embrace the power of love. This is the Love Rekindled show. Let's begin.
Today's show will be about gender roles and how friendships influence relationships. So we're super excited because we have our special guests today. We have Patrick and Chere Munn. We have the Munns. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome, Munns.
Thank y'all for having us.
We're super excited because we couldn't think of a better couple to invite on to talk about this specific topic, okay? So the thing is that in today's marriages, you deal with a lot, okay, guys? You deal with figuring out who's going to do what, why, when, and how. And that's the hot topic these days, right? Everybody want to know who's responsible for what. So we're going to go ahead and start with Chere.
Because I can tell them.
Yes.
The first thing we want everybody to know and understand that the man is responsible for all the bills. That's the first thing.
Okay, so you want to come in hot.
Yeah, because that's,
Flaming.
Okay,
if I see this topic one more time on my timeline.
What's the topic?
Should the men pay the bills? Are you a simp if you don't pay the bills?
Okay, so what is your thought process on why a man should pay the bills?
Because you are the head. You are the leader. And what better way to show that you are the head of your family? You are the example. You are who we look up to. If you want your woman to show up in her femininity, you got to have all that masculine part taken care of. If she going to be going 50-50 with you, then how's she going to show up in her feminine way? She got to be just as masculine as you. Go out there, kill the chicken, bring it home, cook the chicken.
So paying the bills mean you're masculine?
Yeah.
Or not paying the bills mean you're less masculine?
Yeah, it does.
That doesn't make sense.
A little simp in there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chere, I don't agree.
Oh, I knew you was going to say that,
Don't
Margo.
agree. I just think that is so wild for people to feel as if you get in a relationship with someone and then the biggest responsibility of the relationship, you were like verbally say you're responsible for this, solely responsible for this.
Well, I think my only thing would be, let's just say we go with your narrative, that men are responsible for all of the bills.
Yes.
Should women do everything a man tells them to do when they want them to do it?
Why does he have to tell her what to do?
Well, because I'm saying, so you ideally think like if all of the responsibilities on me, why don't I have all the authority?
Why does the responsibility come with authority, though?
Well, apparently,
Isn't it an honor to take care of your wife?
He ties responsibility to his finances.
Yes.
So that's a good topic and conversation
But you don't tie
we can
authority
have for
to
another
it.
time. But because you're paying something, it's like if I'm going to pay the mortgage, I should be able to tell you what to do. Is that your
no.
process?
So no, the thought process is because you're requiring me to pay all of the bills. I should require you to listen to every single thing I say.
Right.
I prefer both of us to carry our bags up the hill together. So if you make 100,000, I make 100,000. We make 200,000.
Right.
I don't believe we make 100,000 and we live off my 100,000 while you do God knows what with your 100,000.
I mean, I still think it's the mentality thing. Because if you make 100,000, your bill shouldn't be 100,000. And even if
we make 200,000.
Okay, so you make 200,000, but you just said all of it shouldn't come.
So
all
what
of
do
it shouldn't come
you feel
off
like
yours.
a woman is responsible for?
Like
so you told us you see the man in a position where the man should pay the mortgage.
Yes, yeah, and I'm talking about the basic necessities. Like I should not get married and have to wake up wondering if my mortgage is paid or my rent is paid or if the lights are going to be on, if there's food in the refrigerator, the gas, the telephone, the car insurance. Like I just shouldn't have to worry about those things.
Chere.
I feel like there's way more to showing up in a marriage than with the money. If all you have to do is go out and go to work and come home, and I got everything else taken care of. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. You don't got to tend to the kids. Of course you will as a good father, but you don't have to do all of that. Everything is taken care of. You just go and pay the bills.
See, that
anything
that
extra.
simple.
If I want a lavish car, I'm going to pay for my lavish car. You should just be making sure the necessities are taken care of.
See, you say the necessities, and
that's
then you
wild. Go ahead, Patrick. Let me hear
these other things. Wash my fancy car. Make sure there's gas in my fancy car.
Yeah, I shouldn't pump gas.
Carry all these groceries up to wherever it is you stay. Pay the bills.
Yes.
massage me, rub my feet
Okay, those
after
are
you get off
extras.
work. I'm just saying, I'm putting it all together because you got to look at everything.
That's right.
If it goes into what he said, if I'm doing these things, and if I tell you, hey, this is what I want you to do, then
Ask me.
tell you what to do, then I
you
expect
can't- you can't tell
right. So
somebody
I
what
have
to
to
do.
use what he said.
You're telling me to pay all the bills.
I'm not telling you.
You didn't ask.
I'm asking you to marry me. For us to be a union, this is what it's going to take. Like, I don't want to have to worry about bills because there would be some form of respect lost.
I don't agree with it, Chere. And,
Why
at
don't
the
you
end of
agree?
the day, because I feel like when you become a union and you become a couple and you become one, I feel like it should be a shared responsibility. I don't feel like you should marry someone, and I wouldn't marry a man. I didn't marry Antonio feeling like you should pay all the bills, and I'll take my money and pay for my expensive car and pay for my oil change or whatever I need for my car and get our deodorant and toothpaste and toothbrush. Like that's not
Right.
equal. That is not like that is not equal responsibilities
But there
in
is
a
so
relationship.
much more
It's
to a
not.
marriage than just the money.
Well, let
He's
me
not
just ask.
taking all of his money. If he's bringing in $100K, then his bill should not be $100K. That means somebody's living way above their
But
means.
he's taking care of another person. So he's
Okay.
not only feeding himself, he's feeding him and you.
And he asked
Off
for
of
this.
his income.
He asked for his
right.
family though.
So the
Like,
light bill is not just him. It's him
there's
and
more
you.
that comes in a marriage than just paying the rent.
No, I get that part, but
Like,
the rent is the bills are a big responsibility.
Tending to a
Chere.
household is a full-time job in itself.
Right.
Being a mom and a wife, that is a full-time
see,
job in
there's
itself.
things
Let's
inside
not
of
talk
there.
about the prayer warrior that come out. Like, there's just a whole bunch more than just paying the bills. If I gotta wake up and figure out how the rent gonna be paid, I might as well stay single.
But the thing is, you don't have to figure out how it's going to get paid.
so I
you
think
work
because the
and
money
put
is
the
there.
money in your account and you pay your bills.
I think the biggest thing of it is that we're missing. I don't think we're thinking about what has to go into somebody, everything they have to do to go out to make the money to pay all of the bills, and how that shouldn't be put on one person. To get up and put all these hours in, to do everything to sustain our life when we two adults coming together. How is it fair that I'm the only one responsible for that? And if that's not done, it's me, not you, and we're a partner. How's that fair?
I don't see where's the problem.
No, I get it. I'm just asking, how's it fair?
It's fair because you come home, you don't have to worry about cooking and cleaning and tending to the kids, making doctor's appointments, getting clothes ready. You don't have to worry about anything else. You come home, you sit down, put your feet up. Your
what if
plate
you
is
had a
made.
man
But
that
so
did
are you?
that,
But so are you a stay-at-home wife? Or are you a wife that stay at home and wait? You can provide all of those things to your husband when he comes home.
Yeah, in that case, if I'm you mean today, right now?
No,
today?
I know. I'm saying like
In that
in the
situation.
scenario.
Yes, you are catering to your husband if he needs his feet rubbed or his head massaged. Like his home is peaceful.
Okay, well, this is my thing. I need the balance. I don't want to rub your feet all day. I don't want to be cooking for you every time you walk in the door. And maybe that's just the domestic part with me. My thing is I like to work. I like to make my money. I like to work on my endeavors, my goals, the things that I want to do in my life. So my thing is that we have to like be a partnership. Like so I get what you're saying. So your thought is the man pay all the bills, the woman stay at home and provide this. She's a homemaker. So I'm not. And so I think that's where the difference lie at, because I don't want to be home waiting for my husband to come home to rub his feet and to cook and all of that. And so then that brings back to the point for men. If you guys want that,
Yeah.
do men want the woman to be home, ready to cook, ready to?
That was the point I was going to make. So if Chere's standpoint is from a stay-at-home mother standpoint, that's to the individual guy that wants that.
Yes.
Me personally, I don't want another dependent. I want a partnership. I don't want 5 kids and I got 4. You my 5th kid. I just don't choose that. I want somebody that can be a partner with me. I'm going to do everything in the house you do. I'm going to fold clothes. I'm going to do everything. I'm not going to wash a lot of dishes. Just like you're not going to have to take out trash. But I'm going to do I feel like it should be a partnership. Whatever the gender role look like, I do feel like I was thinking from a standpoint of 2 people working. You working, you keeping your money.
Yeah,
to me, that was making no sense to me.
Well, and even with that, though, I think that there are other places to be a partnership, building legacy, or just talking about the finances. Regardless if I'm working or if I'm stay at home, I still feel like the basic necessity, essentials is on my husband. He should make sure the roof is over our head. And then whatever I'm bringing in, we can invest with that. We can build the partnership, build the legacy. I think that's how it should roll. I still don't think that, do you honestly feel comfortable going to your wife saying like, where's your half on the rent?
We'll have to do it because our money is together. So when you put your finances together, don't no one lack. And so that's what I enjoy
So
about
if
the
he's
partnership.
making 100,000 and you making 30,000, you still expect her to pay half, show up with her half.
No. What I expect in that case, I expect us to have $130,000 a year, and whatever we able to do with the $130,000, that's what we do. I don't feel like I'm making 100,000, she's making 30. I feel together we're making
put it in the pot.
Yeah, because
we shouldn't just have just 100 in the pot,
Right.
And the 30 unaccountable. I can't understand
because
that.
No, I believe in
because the thing
accountability
is that when it's all in the same pot, no one lacks. So I don't worry about whether my mortgage is being paid. I don't worry about whether my car note being paid. I don't worry about grocery. I don't worry about spending money. I don't worry about nothing because the money in the
It's
bank.
there.
Yeah.
That's it.
And no slight at no couple that have separate finances.
Right.
If you have separate finances,
If it works, it works.
Yeah, it
You have
ways
to do what works
ways
for
of
you.
doing everything. But I do feel we should be equally yoked in all things in relationship. I don't feel like my wife should do all the cleaning. I probably do more tight and cleaning than Margot because that's how I am. So I just feel like it just should be a true partnership because that's what works for us. But some people, whatever works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If it works.
It does. It depends on the household. Like, so my godparents, I was just talking to her the other day about this. My godmother did not work. My godfather took care of them and they did trips, everything. She stayed at home with 5 children. He was also in ministry the whole time. He's a pastor. And I brought up to her and she felt the same way. Of course, she lived it. So of course she's going to feel the same way, but it's a full-time job being at home. Now in my household, my mom was the one who went out and worked and my dad stayed home. But my dad took very good care of us. Like he did our hair, he did all the cooking, he ironed our clothes, he got her ready. So it was like he was the homemaker because of his background, the criminal record or whatever, until he was able to get a job. And then the roles changed later on in life. So I've seen it from both perspectives. Being a woman who's my first marriage, I didn't have to pay bills. Now I had... I did have I came with a nice bank account, but he still didn't require me to pay bills. It was never a topic. It was just, he's going to take care of his household, his home, right?
Correct.
And so now in today's age, today's marriage, my husband, it's a conversation. It's not an argument, but it's a conversation and I just feel like, why are we having the conversation?
Yeah, I think the conversation is so needed because I think women have to understand times are different.
And I see that.
The cost of living is different.
Cost of living is different, yeah.
The women attitude and response to us is different.
I believe that.
So a lot of things that a lot of stay-at-home women, they handle things a certain way.
Yeah.
So they was able to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
If you got somebody going to be loud and you telling you to pay all the bills, that could
You
get
keep talking about this control, this authority thing.
No. I think the control is
Seen and
coming.
not heard.
No, the control is coming from the other part, telling him to pay all the bills. I'm just saying, let's even the score if you're doing all that.
No, he said that was back in the day.
No, he was saying
back in the day.
days,
That's how it
grandma
was. To be
was
seen but not
She
heard.
wasn't making. She wasn't really.
Yeah,
saying
they
too
were seen
much.
and not heard. So now what we have a modern day mindset, but we wanna pull the new stuff, and it just don't. It be unbalanced.
I agree.
So you think in today's world, in today's relationship space, that there's an imbalance. You have some people that are super traditional, and then you have some people who are modern and trying to figure it out. So my question to you all is, what do you do when you find yourself in that space where you have a spouse with a modern mindset, and then you have one with old school like Cherie?
Yeah, I think that's got to happen
Want to
from
be home barefoot and pregnant?
That got to happen from the onset.
Don't want to do that.
Oh, she want to be at home, but leave out the barefoot and pregnant part.
It's a conversation. It's definitely a conversation. Like, even to just use us, the conversation comes up because it's like, I feel like how y'all said, we're in this together.
Right.
No matter what, the good, the bad, the ugly, we're in this together. Put it in there and take care of it.
Right.
So if you making more than me, I'm putting all mine in.
Right.
Put all yours in, and it gets done.
Right.
If I'm making more than you, the same thing. Put it all in. I'm not looking at like, well, hold on, why is your bill, the card note you have is this number? You know what I'm saying? Because mine is in there.
Right.
So just take care of it. But the conversation, if those things are like that, you have a conversation about it.
Correct.
It definitely have to be talked about. There has to be a communication, clear communication.
From the onset. And that's what I think don't happen in relationship. I think people get together on the I like you phase and they start making lifelong commitments and they haven't got under the surface.
Yeah.
The conversations.
my advice to anybody, sit down and have conversations about certain things, especially things that are important, like finances. How we gonna raise the kid?
Yes.
Or religion. It's certain conversations.
Where you gonna live? All things need to come.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the mindset. Where's the mindset? We were talking today in our annual our check-in for the end of the year and our planning, the mindset. the way when the situation came up, the way Patrick was looking at money was totally different from the way I see money and the way that I'm growing and nurturing a new relationship with money.
Right.
And I brought that up. Like, I feel like mindset is something that we have to really talk about. We don't talk about that when you get in with marriages or, you begin dating or courting, but it's very, very important. It might look good today, but you got to have those hard conversations.
Yes. Those conversations.
I think premarital counseling now in my older age, I understand the importance of premarital counseling. Yes. I would not recommend nobody get married without premarital counseling.
Yeah.
It should be like a stripper question that you ask. As a matter of fact, it's coming in my next book. I'm going to have a stripper question that you got to ask before marrying anybody.
And I think it should be done annually. I think just like your anniversary come, you should go through another level of marital counseling. Absolutely, because you're forever evolving and you're still learning each other. Like, you're not the same person you were last year.
Absolutely.
And I'm a stickler for when we talk about something, it's like, well, you said you were going to do this. And he's like, yeah, but I changed or I did this. And it's like, wait, you ain't tell me. So I'm one of those people, like I'm an analyst, I'm a spreadsheet person, I'm a law enforcement background. It's like black or white.
So, There's no in between. Communication is important.
Communication is so important.
Yeah.
The literacy.
It's not just communication though. You have to have clear understanding communication.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Because me, I'll use myself. I'll say things like, I took care of that. I used this money for that. And she's like, what's that?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, I used the money to pay this.
Right.
And it's still like, she want to know what's the this and what's the that.
Right.
And then it's like, me, I talk. Like, I'll be like, okay, well, yesterday I went, I got the money. It came because I did these many hours.
And the grass was
then
up
this
when
was
I
like
came,
this.
but then the sun came
and then
down
I went
before
through
I
this
turned.
and she's just looking at me like, I'm still waiting on the that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to be clear with what you're saying. That's in any relationship. Yeah. Any business, you have to be clear because you don't want to mess up your money either way or your relationship by not being clear or having understanding.
Yeah,
I agree.
Be clear and effective.
And let me say, I understand, like, when I say I require my husband to take care of me, it's not like, so if he got sick or something happened, life altering, where he couldn't pay the bills, I'm gonna just leave him hanging. Like,
my wife has
the
my
money
back.
is gonna be in the pot. But, and I explained to Patrick, we had this conversation on camera, off camera with people. It is still my desire for my husband to take care of me, regardless of how much money I make, the businesses that I run. I definitely want us to pursue things and make investments, but I still require and desire my husband to take care of the
and the thing is this, it's nothing wrong with that being your desire. Like we were saying earlier, everybody's marriage is different, and you have to do what works for you. Yes. And the important part is it's good that we can sit as married couples and have this conversation. Yeah. We don't have to agree on everything, and we can have two different ways of running our marriages. It's just at the end of the day, as long as we're happy and we're getting to that common goal where we're doing things together, we're growing together, we're setting them goals, we're achieving them goals, and we're leveling up, it's all good. Because at the end of the day, we all have different, things that make our relationship go. Beliefs, opinion, religion, all of that.
I mean, like the old folks say, there's 100 ways to skin a cat.
Literally.
In relationship, what worked for the Taylors may not work for the Munns.
Right.
What worked for the Munns may not work for the Taylors. Right. And it's perfectly fine.
But the good thing about it is good to hear it, right? It's good to hear from married couples about how because what it does is it let the audience know that you're not alone.
Right.
There are different ways. And like Tony will say, there's different ways to skin a cat. It's so many ways that you can make your marriage work for you. Yeah. You just have to make sure that you talk to your partner and figure out what that's going to look like for you guys. Yeah. And so real quick, with just changing gears while we're talking about relationships and who should be doing what, we're going to go ahead and jump into what happens in relationships. We're going to do it twofold. We're going to talk about when you deal with couple friends in the marriage, in relationship, and then when you deal with your partners in their friend group in the relationship. So Antonio, I'm going to go ahead and let you lead us into that while we talk about friendships and relationships. How does that work for you? What has been your experience?
Well, my experience as a man, I understand that friendships to women are way more important to women than it is to us as men. Not that we don't value our friendships. Right. We just don't get too deep in our friendships. Right. With all respect to you guys, I think you guys go in men judgment, y'all go too deep. Y'all friendships are almost y'all other relationship. And that's why it be a little bit more complicated. So with men, we kind of stay on the surface a little bit with our friendship. So my experience with it, I have several cool homeboys, and I have my tight circle of close homeboys. And as I age, I'm loving my space and I'm understanding what I need in friendship as a man now. That's something I never understood growing up. So now, mid-40s, I love my boys. I value the relationship now.
Yes.
You still keep them on the surface level, though.
No. So let me explain that part.
Yeah.
Women, it would be considered surface because you guys, y'all talk all the time. See, us, we catch up and we talk about important stuff, which means we go under the surface. Let's just say my boy's really dealing with something. We gonna make that call and deal with it. See, you guys are all day dealing
Y'all
with stuff.
down there all the time. Y'all deep every time.
Every day. Y'all garbage
Because
guys.
it's a constant conversation.
Though eventually we grow out of that space. I think eventually with time, like if I have a friend that is where I'm in that space all the time, I'm looking for, it's about to be an exit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in the trenches with you all the time. And I don't want to be deep and on the phone
y'all
with
get
you
better
all
with
the
navigating
time.
as y'all get
maybe
older.
that's what it's good. That's good. Navigating,
Because on the onset, and somebody can, like with me and Margot, and she could probably say the same. I knew her friendship was going to go left before she knew
Before
it.
you did.
Most time we do.
Yeah, and so what I learned over the years, so initially I tried like, hey, no, don't do it. No.
Yeah.
But it gets to a place where it's like,
I gotta let you go through it.
Right. Because I know when you come to me, I know what's going to happen. I'm just going to be here for you when it happens.
Yes. I'm not gonna point my finger and say I told you. You gonna tell me that's what you said it. I'm saying
you kind of do say that though when you get silent.
No, wait for it. I'll be waiting on it. I'll be waiting on you to tell me you was right, and then I'll just be like, all right, but listen, if you would have listened, you know what I mean. If you would have heard me, not even listen. If you would have heard me, before, you wouldn't even have to deal with where you at right now. Because right now you looking like I should just slam her, and you don't need to do that. If you would have cut it off, if you would have came from being so deep with it back then, it wouldn't be as bad. That's kind of like he said, we stay on the shallow end. So if you have a friend and it's never really deep, if you lose that friend, it's kind of like, all right, he wasn't supposed to be there no way. But if we constantly stay deep, I need to come see him because you play with my feelings. So I want to come holler at you, and I'm not coming to holler at you like why you do it. I'm coming to holler at you like I want to put my hands on you because you play with my feelings. So that's kind of like
so that's pretty much the reason why men don't go deep in their relationships.
So
because y'all want to have that out.
We don't want to be hurt.
Like
y'all take hurt over and over. So this friend hurt you because you gave them everything that you had in helping them, and then they play you, and that hurt. It angers you, hurts you, or whatever it does. Men different. Like I'm not about to let him hurt me. So if I keep letting all the dudes hurt me,
and so I get the fact that you guys keep y'all relationship on the surface, but I do feel that it also limits y'all too as well in certain spaces. And a lot of women, we talk about that as wives and in partnerships. So many women, I can't tell you the countless amount of women that I talk to that says, man, I'm telling him he need to get his own friend space. He need to get his own tribe. That is a real thing.
Well, how do y'all feel it limit us?
That's what I want to know.
Because we feel like if you guys didn't stay on the surface all the time, you'll be more open.
If we stay on the surface?
No, if you stop staying on the surface. So it's like when you are intentionally on the surface in your personal space outside of the relationship, you tend to stay on the surface in your relationship, if that makes sense, because you're not exercising or having conversations or engaging in anything deeper.
But we know how to go deep with them. Like he said,
when it's time.
Only when it's necessary. So I don't need to call him every day and tell him I got a problem.
So I think what happened is, and I speak about this all the time, we forget that men and women are different and we don't even think about it.
Right.
True.
So what happens is, unfortunately for men, we get most of our advice from our wives.
Right.
So we don't have homeboys that we get advice from. So what we
Why
do?
though?
Well, I'm getting there. What we deal with a lot, y'all advice. And that's the same in this in what we're talking about now. Y'all try to tell us what we need to do, but it's based on how y'all feel and what y'all do. So it's not a limitation for us. We're not designed to go deep like y'all are.
Oh no,
So
you
it's
are
not-
designed.
but
We're not designed to go deep
but
with another man.
what I'm
We're
saying
not.
is this.
We're not. No, we're not. designed to-
But what I'm saying is this. You guys are hearing our voice and hearing our opinions a lot because you ain't going nowhere else to have a conversation with another man.
Yeah.
So then it's positioned like, oh, she rah, rah, rah. She always in my ear.
no.
She always have something to say when I say something to her.
No.
But
We don't
you
look
have
at it
to
like that.
create.
That's
We don't look at it like
That's not
that.
what I'm saying. I'm not saying y'all bothering us by coming to us. I'm saying y'all have to understand that it's really not a requirement for us like y'all think it is.
Right.
It's a requirement for you guys, but it's hard for y'all to see it because it's really a requirement for y'all.
So
it don't require us to talk every day and go deep.
Right.
Right.
So an example,
And I'm not saying that
We're
the
not
men,
missing
I'm
nothing.
not saying men should talk every day and go deep. The point that I'm making is that when you have a relationship, I'm bringing to your point where you say, well, we get our advice from y'all, right? What I'm saying is that you can get your advice from an elder. You can get your advice from another man that has walked the path that you're walking. You can get that information, that manly advice from that uncle or whoever under the tree at the cookout or however that comes about. So what I'm saying is that there are alternatives that you can do as a man to get that manly.
but we know that.
Yeah,
And we use those.
So that's what we were talking about when we were saying.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying.
No.
About
I
men
understood.
advice.
I understood what you were saying. I was bringing that point up to my original point of saying that that is a con for men in surface relationships. You know, you don't have that intel. You're not getting that information and feedback from another brother or someone you can bounce things off of.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. How you misunderstood me. What I'm saying is, in the moment where we need it, we go to them. What I was saying about we get advice from you guys. What I'm saying is, we constantly get advice from you guys telling us to be like y'all. And what I'm saying is, like, we don't need to go deep
in
and
the
talk
sense
to
of
men.
stay deep. Y'all can go deep.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
So like how you said a friend tell you, yo, he need to get his own friend. He need to do. Men really don't need that.
My
It's
wife
not a
told
need
me
for
I don't have friends, right? She told me this before.
You don't.
But I called on, I'm going to say 2 friends. One I haven't talked to since high school, and the other one probably about 10 years. I called them and they were both at my wedding. When I called and said, hey, I want to know if you'll be one of my groom. It was an absolute yes right now. It wasn't a thought about it. He said, when is it? I'm there. So it's like I didn't have to talk to him every day.
I think one was a mutual thing because one of them I grew up in church with. I'm very close to them too. So I think that was the mutual.
But inside of that, this is my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether
your
she
friend if you haven't talked to him since high school.
But listen, though, Sheree, shoe on the other foot. If you had in his situation, girls you haven't talked to that long, you wouldn't have been able to reach out for them to make that sacrifice.
I wouldn't want to reach out for them.
So I'm just telling you.
This is what I mean by
men and women.
High school. I haven't physically saw him to talk. Now through social media, we say different things or whatever, you know what I mean. But we haven't had a conversation. But when I called him, he answered and said, "Absolutely."
So how are you so quick to say? You can tell us because I feel like you guys throw the word friendship around, just throw it around. If you can call somebody a friend that you ain't talked to since high school, but through social media it doesn't count. If y'all can call that person a friend, then how can y'all be so quick to tell us like, oh, I knew that wasn't gonna work. She wasn't your friend. She wasn't this because you don't really understand friendship because you don't.
How do we not?
So we do
because y'all don't indulge in friendship.
To your point is what I'm saying. You guys generalize it the way you guys understand it. So for you as a woman, that makes sense. For us as men, we got a great definition of friends. It is for us.
Showed up when you
your
call.
definition of a friend is way different from all because y'all go so deep. So when you call somebody a friend, she your girl, y'all have been through things.
Yeah.
And I get it. We call men friends for different reasons, but it's the same feeling.
Same feeling, just different. I was gonna say, what would equate to a man being your friend? Like, why would you call a man
So
a friend?
I got my closest best friend. We've been friends since we were 6 years old.
Okay.
We don't talk all the time. He's in a space of his life where he's really going through something.
Okay.
It requires me to be a better friend. Okay. So now I call and check on him 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
When we normally would talk once a month. That's
Seasons.
how men friendship looks. But women, y'all can't stay connected that way. So if you don't talk to your girl for a while, y'all
It's
not
a problem.
friends.
Something going on.
Your friendship requires watering and nurturing.
No. My best
Men
friend,
don't.
we don't talk every day. We probably we talk once a month, maybe.
So I think the biggest thing, women friendship requires more watering than men do. And I think it requires men and women both to respect and understand that.
Well, I get that. And y'all made some good points. And so we're going to go ahead and kind of lean into how oftentimes friendships affects the relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you can have those friendships. You can have your spouse that have their friend groups outside of the relationship that may cause some type of tension in a relationship. And then you guys have couple friends, right? Mm-hmm. People that you befriend, you think that they're a great couple to hang out with, and then it goes left. Okay, so sometimes, it can be the women, and I could be straight up and honest
let's
about
talk
this.
about it.
Most of the times in couple friendships, it be the women that dead ends the relationship. That's typically how it goes. It's a mishap.
To the point that I'm telling y'all, the point that we're talking about right now, that's the reason why couple relationship get so altered.
So do the men remain friends after the women?
So this what happens is an acknowledgement amongst men. Bro, I love you. This is crazy. Day on one. Man, I'm here if you really, really need me. Okay. So what happens is our brotherhood suffers when y'all go deep and can't handle it. That's what happens. It happens a lot. It's really a thing. And so now a lot of men, that's why when you meet couple, men are very slow.
Yeah.
Not because of him. I don't know what this gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest complication for men. Like, I think he a pretty cool dude, but I don't seen this too many times with them.
I can agree with that, and that is true. Like, most of the couple relationships do fail.
Hold on, say it one more time. Say you agree one more time.
It is true. I agree with you.
That feel good.
Most of the couple friendships and relationships do change because of the relationship with the women, and so at the end of the day, those things are going to happen. It is what it is. But it's like, do you stop having couple friends, or
the men stop when it's over? It's over.
The thing is, when it's over, it's over.
We ain't friends. Y'all ain't friends either.
Yeah,
Right.
yes,
that's what he said.
And
they just do a farewell in a nice little way. Like, bro, if you
it's really a mutual understanding.
Like, you go to the bathroom and call me.
It's a mutual understanding. God forbid, because I love y'all as my friend for real. If y'all fell out, I would understand it.
It's going to affect
you know what I mean?
But then I got a problem with that because, I hold you all to a very high standard when it comes to leadership.
Oh, this finna get good.
I do.
Yeah.
I hold y'all to a very high standard of leadership. I respect the man so much. And I make him come up to that. I need y'all to come up to that level. Mm-hmm. You're leading by example. This is your family. This is your wife. You know your wife. And you know that women being women, one of us is just not seeing the other person's perspective.
Right.
You all being friends and being the head of the household, leading your wife, you don't think it's a time where you should just be like, you know what, let's come together and talk. Because I know my wife loves this person.
We're saying after this. We're saying if it don't work. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
If it don't work, you make it work. I mean,
I can't make it.
What Sheree talking about on the onset? Because this is the truth, though, and this is in any relationship.
Most men try to do it on the onset.
Every relationship is gonna have a hiccup.
Yeah,
and like I tell people all the time, it's not about the infraction. It's about what breaks the relationships is what happens after that. That's what make you say, "Hell no, stay away from."
Sheree know, because she's had situations where something happened, and I'll be like, "Did you call him?" And then she say, "No, I didn't." I say, why? This is me saying, y'all need to connect.
Right.
Why? She should call me. Because blah, blah, whatever happened. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait on it. Because I can see where she's going.
But what can he do with that?
I see where she's going. I can see the upsetness coming back. So I fall back. Now, I come back to it again. And then if they talk and they work it out, it was kind of like, okay, I did my part. But if it never comes back together, I can't go to him and say, did your wife call my wife? Tell her to call. You know what I'm saying? I have to sit back.
That's the part I feel like you should intervene.
I'm not going to. No, we don't. That's not how that works.
So the thing of it is it's kind of unfair to ask that of him because everybody's grown. All his responsibility when something happened is to work on you.
That's it.
His responsibility is not to cross-reference anything. And that's why men do the silent thing amongst they're like,
yeah,
I love you, bro, but
and why he saying it's going to affect us so much? Why it's going to affect us so much?
And because, Pat, could you imagine what it looked like if me and Patrick fell out? What would you do?
Oh, we'll be on the phone.
A bowling party, girl. You want to bring him? Don't tell him come. I'm telling you come. It's me and you. We gonna get y'all back together.
Yeah, if y'all was to fall out, we would definitely.
So let me tell you guys. You won't, and that's very dangerous to do that. So let me tell you guys.
See how y'all think though?
No, so let me give y'all good advice. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Because he couldn't do it with you.
No.
Not even that.
He couldn't take you both with somebody you ain't want to mess with no more.
The fallout. What y'all not understanding is the fallout. Like what it would take for us to fall out, right?
Right.
And then you say, well, we just gonna put them back together.
Oh, it depends on the
Right. So now,
okay. So, but what if it was a misunderstanding? What if it was something that happened? It was a miscommunication.
That can be corrected.
And you guys fell out. Me and Sheree kind of heard y'all side of the story. We come together and say, you know what, bro? Like, okay, we need to sit down and have a conversation. Because I do think that sometimes when relationships are genuine and they're worth saving
Yes.
and valuable,
Yes.
you will really
Well, we gotta
have the conversation.
We gotta
to
have
fix.
a real conversation though. We gotta have a real conversation.
Right.
The real conversation is, do I hold you accountable? See, the problem in most relationships,
True.
and I'm gonna talk about it for my guys, we don't hold our wives accountable. I hold my wife accountable. My wife do anything wrong, I may not tell her in front of you guys it's wrong.
Oh, yeah, she gonna
but
hear
I'm
about
gonna
it,
let
though.
her know it's
And that's-
wrong and you need to go fix that.
Right.
The problem is a lot of men know their wife is wrong and don't say one word.
Right.
Oh yeah, baby, that what happened. They actually even side with her.
Right.
Know it's bad behavior,
Right.
and still side with her.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I'm not
And that's
side.
something as men, I don't think we need to fix it, but I do think we need to stop
Address it. Say something
co-signing
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
our wives' bad
Mess,
behavior.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
y'all mess up friendship with bad behaviors, and it
Yeah.
needs to be talked about. She do something crazy, I'm gonna let her know that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was
me
just
too.
wrong, and I'm not even gonna tell you it was right.
There has to be accountability.
I think I'm bad on myself about everything. So I'm gonna always replay before I lay down at night. I'm replaying the conversations that I had with people, and I'm thinking like, dang, did she take that wrong? Did I say that wrong? I probably should have said that. And the other person ain't thinking nothing about it. I'm just replaying if I could have made the day better or worse by my mouth.
Self-reflection.
So, yeah,
that's
definitely.
growth. That's maturity.
And I tell Patrick
is.
like, I need to apologize because I probably shouldn't have said that or whatever. So and he'll be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true. But to your point, I hate sometimes when my reflection would cause me to take more than I should take too.
Yeah.
See, I have a heart where I reflect and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I was always the person that I'm gonna turn the other cheek, and that just got me drug up the street. I've been in
Yeah, see,
friendship 2 years and I shouldn't even been in them. I should have been done with that friendship because I always try to see the good in somebody.
And I'm the one
So
I
you
cut
can
it off
see the
quick.
good in them, but you ain't got to turn the other cheek.
I get it.
Like, because I like to see the good in people. Like, I wanted to address the thing where if we fell out over a misunderstanding, I'm not going to immediately come back to him and try to see what it was. I'm going to wait a minute because I feel some kind of way too.
Right, absolutely.
Because if we fell out about this, you know what I mean? So, but I do try to, when I value a friendship, I do try to go back and see, okay, like, hey, can I holler at you for a minute?
Right.
Well, kind of. We had a situation where the friend and he reached out to Patrick. Patrick does not do good reaching back out to folks.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And he
trying to
didn't
remember.
respond back to this guy immediately within that week. So then the guy responded and was like,
No.
he was petty.
He wanted me to respond back now.
Well,
He called me.
that
He
week,
called me. I
though,
didn't answer.
Yeah.
And then when I reached back out, I reached out.
following
He
week.
reached out to me. I didn't call him back that day. I called him back. It was 2 days. I called him back. He said, I don't do this. Basically, if I call on you, you supposed to answer. You ain't my wife.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's how he felt.
No. So
Flag on the play.
No flag on the play. This what you ladies is asking men relationship to look like. Our relationship don't look that way.
I'm saying flag on the play. So what he mean?
He
hear
needed
what I'm
me.
saying. What
He
he
needed
mean?
me.
He not doing.
He really
He
was
needed
going
me.
through something.
Yeah, he was
mentally.
going through something.
Really going through
but
something.
He was going through something.
Oh, okay.
And
No,
you
the
had a
first
hard
time. Wait a
time
minute.
trusting people
I'm
in
telling y'all that
Atlanta,
wrong. The
so-
first time was he was asking me about a game. The first call was about a game. Was I going to watch the game or go to the game? I didn't answer the phone. I didn't call him back. It was the next day I got back with him, and it was kind of like, never mind, But then he called me again when I was on the phone, and it was
Because y'all was supposed to link up.
we were supposed to link up. But I had reached back out, and then, however, it went back and forth, phone tag. But when he finally called and I didn't answer, he got mad. He said, I don't do this. He blocked me. He blocked me on social media. He blocked my phone calls. I texted him back like, yo, give me a minute. I'm on the phone.
Oh wow.
He texted me back, no, I don't do this. I don't, it was something like reach out and you don't respond.
Yeah, you said you didn't call me. You didn't call me.
Yeah, who are you? Like,
So I told Patrick, okay, honey, he was like, Patrick, F this. I'm like, okay, considering the headspace that he is in, he is really going through some stuff. He's mental. He doesn't have friends. He's connected with you. Like, don't take his lashing out
check out what I did though.
on the surface.
I
Let's
erased
just leave
all
that
that.
on the surface. Reach out to him and just, say, it's a better way to do this, man. Or
I
whatever.
tried
I'm
to
not
do
saying-
that. I was blocked. So I said, you know what? You can't block me. I'm going to hit you on social media. I'm
was
blocked.
blocked.
This is me attempting to say, hey,
So
Yes.
be done, Patrick. Be done with the friendship.
it don't, I don't
Like,
take me
you
long to
can't-
do that.
You have to, because that's like extreme.
Listen, I did this for my wife.
Yes. So,
It wasn't for me because I was done after you said I don't do this. Me neither.
So let me ask you this, Chere. If you ever in a tight spot with a friend and Patrick advised you or tell you, you need to reach out, are you open to reaching out? Are you
Depending
open
on who
to
that
Not
friend
on that
is.
day.
it
She's
depends
not
on
going
who
to reach out
friend
that
is.
day.
Yeah, I'm not, because I am.
Neither one of y'all gonna reach out that
I
day.
understand that you cannot take words back. I am one that needs to get quiet. And I love so hard. I can't believe that you play me like you just played me. So I gotta be quiet with this. So I'm not gonna reach out that same day. I will sleep on it. I will listen to what he's saying. It's not too many people that he's gonna urge me to reach out to, because 9 times out of 10 he feel the same way I felt. But I feel like, I would cut off a mama, a daddy, a sister. Like, I don't care about the titles. I'm not going to show up to be your rug mat every time you want to or cuss me out. Exactly. So he will encourage me, like, did you call? I'm waiting. You need to call your father. No, he was wrong. Like, I don't care about titles. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So,
and I agree to the wrong. Okay, there he was.
I will.
But you call out. See, and I really say that, like, in a father situation, because I lost my dad in a situation like that. We talked every day, and then for 2 months we ain't talked because I'm stubborn and he's stubborn. And then I get a call and say, Dad been in the hospital for 2 months, and they said they don't know what he holding on to. And then they call me, and it's like, what? And then they like, he not talking, he not responding. But then I get on the phone with him and I tell him, listen, man, I apologize. Whatever we fell out about, I'm sorry. And listen, man, I didn't mean for it to. And now he's trying to talk. Yeah. So now I'm like, I wasted that 2 months. Yeah. So when it's someone that you love as hard as you love them, like that, like a father or mother, I'm going to say, I don't care if I don't really know you and you brung it to me. I'm going to tell you, reach out. Yeah. Because tomorrow is not promised. Yeah.
God is still dealing with me on the grade situation, because I don't really care about that. I mean, we all have a day that we're going to pass away. And if it happens in the midst of us not talking, that was just your time or my time. Yeah. You need to be held accountable. Until you pick the phone and call me and say, you know what, I was wrong. And then we can talk like that. But I'm not going to pick up the phone and initiate the way you just dogged me or mistreated me. Like, I don't really care.
I definitely understand that and respect that, because a lot of people think, just because somebody's sick or different stuff go on at time, it don't move the needle.
It don't.
Because sometimes when they pass away and you didn't do right by yourself, you really stuck holding the bag.
Right.
When you allowed them to walk over you just because of their situation. So you definitely have to be careful with that too. I definitely can see that. I definitely got experience. Yesterday. I got experience with that for sure.
My aunts, I fell out. I don't really deal with my aunts and uncles, because I take care of my grandmother. She got 7 kids, and I'm the granddaughter. Got to come from Georgia, 600 miles away to take care of her. And then I'm dealing with them being jealous because they can't. Like, why does she have power of attorney? Like, they're jealous of me. One's a crackhead, the other one's a crackhead. It's just so much, right? And so getting into it with them, and one wanted to like hoop and holler in my face, and I don't do a lot of talking. So I'm like, don't let this professional woman fool you.
And they always do it when I'm not around.
Go down.
I can act like y'all. And so I had got away from them. And my mom, with her messy self, child. She don't put my aunt on the phone, to your point where you're saying you don't do right by yourself. My last encounter with this aunt was us getting ready to, her walking up on me, because I love my aunts. I'm not going to disrespect no elder, but she walked up on me like she wanted to fight me because I was defending my grandmother. She stole my grandmother's money. So she gets, I ain't talked to her in 2 months? Yeah. My mom puts her on the phone, because I'm like, can you ask her to give grandma her social security card, so I can get stuff done? And she gets on the phone, and I wanted to just hang up as soon as my aunt said what. But I was like, let me just push through for grandma. Hey, can
channel your inner God.
Yes. Hey, can you give grandma her? I ain't got it. Bye. Now I'm pissed off because I should have never put myself in that place to where she can disrespect me again.
Right.
I'm so mad yesterday, y'all. When I tell y'all, he was like rubbing me. I said, "Don't touch me." Yeah. Like, I was so mad because I put myself.
I walked back into the closet.
I walked back in there when I knew she ain't had no couth.
Yeah.
I was so angry. So it's like,
and it's like I knew better.
It wasn't even what she said. It was the fact that Chere, you knew.
Yeah, you knew better.
Listen, she told me, "Don't touch me." She said, "Don't touch me." She don't touch me.
She was mad.
So I'm clear about when you do me wrong, let's just, because she had tried to call me and apologize. I didn't answer the phone, and I left the voicemail. I said, because you're gonna let God deal with you. With the way you treated me, you're gonna sleep every night. Looking back at that day, like, Chere didn't curse me out. She didn't nothing. I was hooping. You gonna die. You gonna live with that.
She tried to get all up in her face.
I'm gonna let that be on your conscience. So let me ask y'all this: has she ever had a friend? Mm-hmm. And it went south, and you warned her before it went south, and did she listen or not?
So
I've had a couple.
Yeah. She had a couple that went south. She didn't listen, but ultimately she got to a space where she dealt with it. And I think we went through a space where now she feel like I don't say anything now. And I try to explain to her the times I did say something, you didn't. And I don't want her to feel like she got to do everything I tell her to say, but it's just one of the things like I'll respect what you need from me. And if I'm trying to tell you what I think about things, and I shouldn't even be telling you what to do. But if I tell you to do it and you don't do it, I just respect your process and just be there for you. And stop just trying to, I'm just learning your process. So it's not me just leaving nobody out there not giving you advice. I just respect your process of it.
Yeah. Because even with the advice, she's going to still do what she wants to do in that relationship with that person.
I just think ultimately that's all you can give in relationship is advice. You know, when it comes to certain stuff, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And give it unwarranted and give it without expectations.
And as many times as we needed to give, because I just had a friendship that went crazy. I don't even know why it went south, but it went. And I ain't even go chasing after it.
Sometime, girl. It'd be like that.
It was time.
It was time. Literally. It just, you know.
That just means God knows something that you don't know.
Literally.
You were being pulled on so much by that.
But he had been like.
Yeah, like I don't
like her. Ugh,
I cut them quick.
Yeah, it definitely be like that sometimes. But you know what? I really enjoyed this conversation with you guys. It's always a good time when the Munns come and visit us on the Love Rekindled show. This was a great conversation because so many couples deal with figuring out how to balance, you know, their relationships, the roles, responsibilities that everybody have, right? But guess what? It's your relationship. It's your marriage. Do as you please. Whatever makes you happy, guess what? We are here for it. Yes. And also navigating friendships and relationships can be challenging. Like everyone here on the show talked about the different challenges, experiences, things that they have dealt with in friendship. But guess what, guys? It's nothing that we can do about it because we all need friends. Absolutely. At the end of the day, we all need friends. Yep. So today's show is powered by Platinum Luxury Fleet, the Sip Social, and the Pierre Branding Group. Thank you for joining us here on the Love Rekindled show. We hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, encouraged, and ready to pour more understanding and patience and love into your relationship. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.